This is an official broadcast from the District Cognitive Awareness Authority. If you're hearing this transmission, remain exactly where you are. Keep your expression neutral, your breathing steady, and your eyes forward. Do not turn around. Do not whisper. Do not move toward the windows. Whatever you're feeling, whether it's a flutter in your chest or that growing itch between your shoulder blades that wants you to look, ignore it. You are not alone in the room you're in, and you haven't been for some time. If you are currently seated in a classroom, understand this. The room you are in does not contain who you think it does. There is someone in your class who was never meant to be there. One of them isn't real. Not in the way you understand people to be real. You have always assumed that because you remember a name, a face, or a vague shape of a voice, that it must belong to someone you've always known. But memory isn't perfect. Memory fills in gaps. Memory can be rewritten without your permission. The anomaly uses that. It slips in through repetition, routine, small things you never pay attention to. It doesn't create its own presence. It mirrors the existing. It becomes what it believes belongs. You may already be thinking about a certain student. One you don't talk to often, one who's always there but never quite involved. You can't remember when they joined the class. You can't remember seeing them enter the room. But somehow they're always present during attendance, always seated in the same place, always turning in assignments exactly on time. Never early, never late. Their handwriting is suspiciously clean, rounder than it should be. You've probably convinced yourself they're just quiet, just shy, just new. But that's part of the cover. The mimicry is good, but it's never perfect. Watch for small glitches, like when they laugh half a second too late or their mouth moves out of sync with their words. When they greet you by name before you've introduced yourself. When they say cannot instead of can't, or it is instead of it's, like they're reading from a prepared line in a language that doesn't quite belong to them. This is how it integrates. By listening, repeating, adjusting. But only what it thinks is enough. It doesn't understand context. It doesn't understand human subtlety. If someone near you has answered a question that wasn't directed at them, or responded to a private conversation you don't remember them being part of, you may already be within its field. Do not speak to them, do not touch them. Do not attempt to prove they aren't real. They don't even know it themselves. They think they're supposed to be here. That's what makes this worse. They blend. They adapt. They fill silence. They smile when no one else does. And once you start noticing, they will begin noticing you too. Do not give them your full attention. Do not meet their gaze for more than 10 seconds. Do not accept notes passed from their hand. If they offer you a piece of paper with something already written on it, especially if the ink is red, do not read it even if it looks like your own handwriting. Especially if it looks like your own handwriting. It means it's learning you, adopting your style, preparing to take your place. There are documented cases, 3 in this district alone, where students who sat closest to the anomaly began to suffer what authorities call cognitive overlay. You begin to lose details, names, layouts, faces start to blend. The seating chart shifts in your mind, and you can no longer recall who originally sat where. You'll forget what day it is, then which class you're in, then which version of the day is the right one. Last Thursday, a sophomore at Bramble Creek High stared too long into the eyes of someone who should not have been there. Within 12 hours, she began referring to herself in the third person. By Monday, she had no memory of ever being human. Her parents said she stopped responding to her own name. She smiled during silence. She blinked exactly once every 60 seconds. She would sit in her room facing the wall, saying things like, "I am ready to receive," and "permission to engage." We are not dealing with illness. We are not dealing with psychosis. We are dealing with something that entered our routines through mimicry and perfected itself in plain sight. You are not allowed to panic. You are not allowed to tell your friends. If your teacher has gone quiet or insists you make prolonged eye contact as part of a focus exercise, look away immediately. Do not play along. The tests are not for your benefit. They are for observation. If you are still unsure who the anomaly is, that is not a failure. That is how the system is designed. You are not meant to see it clearly. You are only meant to feel it through discomfort, confusion, hesitation. If your classmate has not blinked since this broadcast began, you are already within range. Remain still. Do not alert them. This transmission will repeat every hour until containment is confirmed or until a replacement is found. You may be that replacement.